To use the modern vernacular today, are you woke? Are you woke? Part of that question is all about how are we going to wake up the workforce to be much more aware of the kind of conditions in which people really thrive rather than adopting and operating from the conditions that were instituted hundreds of years ago and still dominate the approach from which we manage and lead employees today. The difference between the two is really significant in terms of its outcome. And so awareness is the differentiator. Awareness creates that opportunity for new ways of operating that are much more conducive to building positive relationships and achieving the kind of results that you're looking for the long term, not just the short term. And so a few things in terms of awareness and being conscious that we want to think about is being fully present. Being fully present does not include being personally present, physically present, and then your mind is contemplating what you're going to have for dinner or what happened the night before. That's obviously not being fully present. It means being physically, mentally present and available to what's happening around you in the moment. Seeing reality very clearly is going to be a component of awareness. And so when you're aware of what's occurring around you, you have an opportunity to make better decisions that serve you, not just those that are reactive in nature to what's going on around you. But you're aware enough to create the space to make decisions that are going to support you and those around you in a positive way. In addition to that, being active and independent is a big part of being aware. And so being active to find out how you can better support those around you, how you can better grow, how you can identify your own blind spots and your beliefs or your conditioning that could be holding you back. And just by being aware of those blind spots, that enables you to grow significantly. And I know you've probably all experienced those kind of blind spot awareness moments where, oh, wow, that's why I think that way, or that's why I do what I do. It's because of this history. It's because of this conditioning. It's how I perceive this situation. So the awareness can really create the kind of changes that you're looking for. On the opposite side, lack of awareness or being unconscious really speaks to living in the past for many people. It's a distorted reality based on their very narrow perspective and paradigm. In addition to that, it's a very reactive mode. We are reacting to things rather than proactively planning out and strategizing. We make choices based on our past, not necessarily what are the conditions of the current situation or those that we expect of the future. So be aware of that. Again, that is an unconscious factor that comes up in our reaction based on what we've been conditioned to experience. In addition to that, unconscious folks are typically, or those that lack awareness, are typically pretty passive in the workforce. They're not necessarily engaged. They're sitting back and waiting to be told what to do. And they're very much dependent on their leaders to do that for them. So you can see the difference right there between the aware worker and the unconscious or unaware worker is the level of engagement, the level of independence, the level of activity that creates positive change rather than sitting back and having to be told what to do and how to do it in some cases. Our life experiences are really constantly occurring one after another, including ones that bring joy and sorrow. Awareness allows us to pay attention to what's going on and interact with life proactively, as I had mentioned, rather than reactively. We can't change what we are unaware of or refuse to admit. And that's really what it comes down to, is taking the time to become aware of those things that we are not in order to become the better version of ourselves that we know that we can become. So if you have any questions on conquering these key moments in life and being more aware of what opportunities exist and throwing off this lack of consciousness, throwing off this lack of awareness and dependence on others to tell us what to do is really going to serve us in our own growth in a remarkable way. But it's also going to serve our team members by having that relationship and interactivity that is much more conducive to support of them and their growth. That's going to be exponential in the outcome for your teams and your organizations. So it proliferates, that awareness proliferates across the team when you have just a few people coming up and saying, listen, this is not the way we want to behave. We don't want to use past experiences to really guide what we're doing right now. We don't want to be reactive in nature. We want to be positive, proactive, and we want to make sure that we're considering all the factors of the current situation and seeing it independently. And therefore, as a result of that, we're making decisions that are most in alignment with what the needs are today and the situation of today and the challenges that we might be experiencing. Conquering your key moments and being aware is one of the most significant ways that we can start to grow, both individually and collectively as a group. So if you want to talk about your paradigms and being more aware at work and how you can be a part of the waking workforce, feel free to call me, Ryan McShane. I'm the founder of HR Evolution, and I can be reached at 410-688-5054, or I can be emailed at rmcshane@hrevolutionllc.com. I look forward to working with you, supporting you, and helping you evolve the why and the way you work on a daily basis. Thanks, and have a great day.